We're live, dude. NFL's back. We're talking sports. We're talking football. Which side is the bitch on? Got this right here. Got this over here. We're doing stuff. This is new. This is new stuff. Right over. I can't figure that out. This is new stuff. But the NFL is old. It's in its 104th season. Kicking off. Okay, it kicked off on Thursday with a pretty fucking nutty Thursday night football game. Lions winning 21-20 over the defending champs, Kansas City Chiefs. Crazy. We're not here to talk about that game today. We're here to talk about the Sunday slate. And yeah, this is mostly a test stream. This is not gonna be good. I don't have stats. I didn't really prepare. I just made pretty cool graphics, I think at least. Testing it out, new microphone, new lighting, different room, same place. The internet's new though, so mostly just a test stream. This is probably going to be pretty short, not a lot of analysis, but just trying shit out. And we're going to see what sticks, what doesn't. But the NFL's sticking. It's here. It's back. Fantasy football. If you're a better, you're a better. Football's back, dude. I'm pumped up. Starting off. Let's just start off at the top. 49ers favored by 2 points now, not 2.5. I made these graphics yesterday, so the lines are a tad bit different. Yeah, they're favored by 2 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh got young bucks. A lot of young bucks, specifically off on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not looking at the camera whatsoever. I made the Steelers are gonna break through video mostly because of the young bucks, but they got a tough test against one of, if not the best roster in football right now. And one of those guys just got $170 million, $125 guaranteed, Nick Bosa. I wanted to do a video really fast on their money situation, similar to what I did with the Browns video, but I just didn't, to be completely honest. But the Niners are spending a ton of money. A ton of money. Pittsburgh, the Young Bucks are here. I'm surprised it's only a 2-point spread. I think this is going to be a low-scoring football game. This one, I don't think. This is just one of those games where the defenses are so good, they outweigh the young quarterbacks. They outweigh. I don't know what the over-under is. Just take the under. Just take. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I can feel it. This is a new season. It's going to be the same Steelers. I feel like it's going to be a very low-scoring game. I'm surprised the Niners are getting 2.5, though. I mean, excuse me, only favored by 2.5, or 2 now. I'm very surprised by that. Vegas knows something we don't. Give me the 2.5. If I'm betting on this, Niners, you would be a fool to pick Steelers. I think it's going to be low scoring, but this is just such a talented roster. And both quarterbacks are so young. It's going to be low scoring. Defenses are so good. In those situations, give me one of the most talented rosters in football. And here on the top right of the screen, fantasy football player to watch. We're going to be doing fantasy talk. I want to make this like a boom or bust segment, but it's week one. No one really knows, because that's the thing with week one. No one knows anything. So this is just kind of just me riffing and seeing if I'm comfortable on camera like I was a few months back. But yeah, fantasy football player to watch. Speaking of those young quarterbacks, one of them was pretty solid in fantasy last year when he played. That was Brock Purdy. I'm excited to see Brock Purdy in a fantasy sense, because fantasy quarterbacks are pretty limited. You got a top 8, and that's kind of it. After that, it's pretty slim pickings. Brock Purdy, though, I think he's only rostered in 25% of the ESPN leagues. And in the last 4 games he started last year, didn't quite get 20 points, but it was like 18, 19, 17, 18. That's pretty solid. If you're not one of those guys that drafted a quarterback high, look out for Brock Purdy in this one. Watch out for Brock. 2 young quarterbacks. The Steelers' young bucks playing one of the most talented rosters in football. I'm pumped for it. Moving forward. Do not press that. Okay. I meant to put minus 3.5. That's kind of a spoiler for my pick. Desmond Ridder versus Bryce Young. Number 1 overall pick. First NFL game of his life. About to say first game of his life. Going up against Desmond Ridder and the 5th career start. First as the QB1 throughout the entire offseason. I'm very excited to see how Ridder does, because I feel like he's a system quarterback and there's nothing in particular I was supposed to do this. Particularly wrong with that fantasy football player to watch. Pretty important segment. Especially with the great rushing attack, because they already had a great rushing attack last year. Cordell Patterson questionable this game. They drafted Bijan. I love that pick. I already made a 20-minute video. I love what the Falcons did this offseason. I love every single bit of it. But the Panthers got Bryce Young, first overall pick. They had a better offseason, just offer it, because they got potentially their franchise quarterback. Potentially their guy. 3.5 points is too much. I know that's a small line, but 3.5 is, to me, too much. I have nothing to base this off of. It just feels like too much. Panthers plus 3.5. Looking at the fantasy player to watch, it's got to be Tyler Algier. The second-year running back rushed for 1,035 yards last year while only playing 51% of the snaps. So I'm not... It doesn't mean I'm not high on Bijan fantasy-wise. I just think if you can get Tyler Algier and he does pretty well fantasy-wise, that's a great handcuff. That's a fantastic handcuff to have. 1,000-yard rusher going into year 2, one of the best offensive lines in football, and Arthur Smith as your head coach, the rush game genius. Still too much, though. If you're putting your money on Desmond Ridder winning a football game by more than a field goal, that's crazy. You got too much money, and I don't want to put a single dime on this game, but if I was forced to, Panthers plus 3.5 in this Week 1 matchup. Excuse me. Moving down, Cincy versus Cleveland, the in Ohio AFC North matchup. I think the Browns have won the last 5 of 6 versus Cincinnati, as the Bengals are favored by 2. Bengals are so good. The Browns have such a good roster, but the Bengals have been doing it. Oh, dude, gotta do this. We're picking up. Browns have such a good roster. They are loaded, but it all hinges on Deshaun Watson. The entire operation. We know the rush games. We know the rush game is going to be good. I feel like we can make a great assumption and say the pass rush is going to be exponentially better, and the same with the rush defense, because they picked up Dalvin Tomlinson, because they picked up Zadarius Smith. It has to be better. How do they match up versus the Bengals, though? Bengals offense is their superpower. It's what they do, and what do? They pass the ball because Joe Burrow, $275 million man, is throwing that thing to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Mixon's playing? I think Mixon's playing. Mixon should be playing. I'd be surprised if he was not playing. But how do the Browns match up versus that? Well, Denzel Ward. Juan Thornhill is unfortunately questionable right now. Hopefully we'll get an answer on him soon, because that is a big loss if they do not have him. But the Bengals have started off slow the last few years. I'm pulling up the injury report. They have started off slow the past few years. Last year they started 3-3, and that Week 1 game was crazy. Like, Burrow is susceptible to very slow starts. He threw 5 picks in Week 1 last year, and the whole calf thing, it's like the whole calf thing is scary. But someone who had an even slower start and finish was Deshaun Watson. That's also our fantasy football player to watch, because he was being drafted high. I didn't get it. I did not get the Deshaun Watson, draft him high when you could just not and be just fine with someone else. Like, if you're drafting Deshaun Watson high, he is 1,000% your player to watch. And in this game in general, I don't know how he's going to do. I know I'm talking a little bit of fantasy right now, but just in general, I'm so excited to watch him play. I feel like if he can get 20 fantasy points, we're chilling. We're there. We're there, because it's most likely going to be a dogfight. This is AFC North. I don't care if it's Joe Burrow, passing attack, yada yada. Nick Chubb is going to be a dog. It's up to Deshaun Watson. The defense is going to be better. It's up to Deshaun Watson. Do I believe in Deshaun Watson? Nah. Give me Bengals, -2, $275 million, man. Joe Burrow is here. I don't care. I just said the calf thing's scary. I don't really care, dude. He's fine. It's Joe Burrow. Joe Cool, Joey B. I don't like him, but I do at the same time. Moving on to a quarterback I do love, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence in the Jacksonville Jaguars, -5, now favored by -4.5, heading to Indianapolis for an AFC South matchup. These games are always fun. These are always fun games. The Colts are not going to be super good this year. Not at all. Anthony Richardson's going to be a fun guy to watch. That's the player to watch. But Trevor Lawrence entering year 3. Year 2 with Doug Peterson. We're not counting the Urban Meyer year. Let's just forget about that one. Entering year 3. Year 2 with Peterson with Calvin Ridley. Another year with Christian Kirk. Another year with Travis Etienne. They drafted Tank Bigsby. Oh, Lord. Oh, wait. Actually, no. It is Tank Bigsby. Tank Dell. He's the Houston guy. I get the tanks mixed up. But, yeah, Jags, I feel like you have to give them the 5. I for real have no analysis on this game besides Trevor Lawrence entering year 3. This is the worst show ever. That's why this is a fucking test, because there's nothing to talk about. It is week 1. No one knows. Just give me the 5. Just give me the 5 and give me Anthony Richardson as the player to watch. He's that boomer bust quarterback. In 2019, that was Lamar Jackson. 2020, or was that 2021? 2021 was Jalen Hurts. Yeah. 2021 was Jalen Hurts. Last year was Justin Fields. All 3 of them worked out pretty good. So, is that the same route that Anthony Richardson, dude's literally built like Derrick Henry, is going to be on with Shane Steichen, former offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles? Really crafted that Jalen Hurts rushing offense that translate to a lot of fantasy points. Does that translate to Anthony Richardson in week 1? Most likely not, especially considering they're playing Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I think are going to own time of possession, especially with Jonathan Taylor out too. Anthony Richardson, it's his ball. It's his ball. He's getting all the yards. So that is my player to watch. See how that changed? That was crazy. Yeah. Minnesota favored by 5 against Tampa Bay. I'm surprised this is only 5. I expected this line to be similar to the 2 bottom ones in Washington and Baltimore, because Tampa Bay stinks. Tampa Bay stinks. Maybe Minnesota stinks. They were 13-4 last year, and they lost round 1 against the Giants, and everyone was just like, yeah, makes sense. They won every game by a coin flip, basically. By one possession, just the ball always bounced their way. That is the heavy narrative right now. This is a great opportunity for Kevin O'Connell and Kirk Cousins to just be like, dude, fuck those guys. We won 13 ball games, and they're talking down. And they're playing Tampa Bay, who stinks. Their defense doesn't stink, but they stink. This is a great opportunity for Minnesota just to say, dude, fuck these guys. We're going to go out and we're going to dominate. That's what I think happens. I don't care about the narrative. The ball always bounced their way. They're playing a collection of very good football players. That doesn't mean they're a good team. Tampa Bay is not a good team. And they're led by Baker Mayfield this year. The Baker Mayfield Kyle Trask storyline was the funniest thing to watch, because it was just like, who? I don't think it's gonna work out either way, which is the heavy question mark for the dudes in the top right in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. How's that gonna work? How's their passing game gonna work? I know Mike Evans has been in the news a lot recently over not wanting to come back next year, but he's still going to play, yada yada. Of course he wasn't going to sit out. This isn't the NBA, dude. Of course he wasn't going to sit out. But, I mean, this is I guess more so I'm curious about the Tampa Bay passing attack, because I can talk down on Baker. They're still going to throw the ball half decent. And how much of that goes to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and how well does that translate to points? It's going to be interesting to see. I think Chris Godwin's kind of a sleeper this year. Mike Evans, I don't really know. Chris Godwin, though, get him on some dig routes. Just get the man on some dig routes. Moving forward, New Orleans Saints favored by 3 at home against Tennessee. Man, Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill. versus Derek Carr. Tennessee 7-3 last year, lost their last 7 with Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill, Josh Dobbs, me at quarterback. Everyone played quarterback for Tennessee. This is Mike Vrabel's chance just to be like, guys, let's start this season off right. But we need to finish this year. Like, this is... I really do believe in Tennessee. I don't think they're going to be like a Super Bowl contender, but they are in the AFC chip. They've been a consistent playoff team for some time now. I believe in them. And New Orleans is trying to get back... Well, okay, I guess both teams are trying to get back to that pedigree. More specifically, New Orleans most definitely trying to do that, going out and getting Derek Carr this offseason. First game as a New Orleans Saint. Favored by 3. I can't. I can't do that. I cannot bet for a team that's just trying to figure it out right now. As opposed to Tennessee, they've been together for some years and they've proven they can be hot. They made the AFC chip. They've been a playoff team. They started 7-3 last year before absolutely crumbling. They started 7-3 last year, and they're an underdog, a 3-point dog to a team that's like just starting. Maybe New Orleans comes out and is a high flyer. If that happens, I don't think this man's going to get that many fantasy points. That's running back Jamal Williams. That's the funniest picture ever. Running back Jamal Williams, I wish he stayed in Detroit so badly. That man was the Detroit Lions. But Jamal Williams, it's going to be interesting with Alvin Kamara out. I want to see his workload and if New Orleans gives him a similar method of getting fantasy points. Obviously, that's not what Dennis Allen and the staff is talking about pregame. How we get, okay, guys, we need to get Jamal Williams fantasy points. Of course, that's not happening. But, I mean, the way Jamal Williams did it last year was the Lions' offense was high-powered. They would go down the field. Jamal Williams would score a 2-yard touchdown. Nice. Did it. Over and over and over. With Kamara out, I want to see how they use Williams. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch. And when Kamara comes back, week 4, you best believe the fantasy football player to watch is going to be running back Jamal Williams. Moving forward, we got Washington versus the Arizona Cardinals. Favored by 7, new owner, new quarterback, same coach, same defensive line. Chase Young, is he playing? I'm going to look at the injury list right now. Chase Young's out with a neck injury. That's honestly not that big. He's been out like a majority of the last 2 years. That's not that crazy. Yeah, new quarterback, new owner, favored by 7 points at home. The fans are pumped. Washington's pumped. And they're playing the Arizona Cardinals, who are starting Josh Dobbs. No disrespect to Josh Dobbs, Tennessee legend, but my goodness. Favored by 7. I can't take that. It would be the most Redskins, Commanders, football, Washington thing of all time. To be favored by 7, all of the odds are in your favor. And to just be the same old Skins, same old football team, same old Commanders, and not cover. There's no shot they cover. There's no shot they cover. I'm just pumped to watch Sam Howell. I'm really excited to watch. I will not be watching this game, but I'm pumped to go back and see clips of Sam Howell and like watching drives of how he commands the offense with Eric Bieniemy. It's going to be interesting for this Washington team. I love their, I mean, how could you not love their D-line? I love their D-line. I love Brian Robinson. Their receiving core, Jahan Dotson's going into year 2 as wide receiver 2 behind Terry McLaurin. Sam Howell going into year 2 with him. I was going to do the passing attack similar to what I did with Tampa Bay. I was going to put up, I'm trying to figure it out. I was going to put up McLaurin and Dotson, but I think in a fantasy sense and a true football sense, we know who McLaurin is. He's a great wide receiver, and he will put up production. He will put up production. Jahan Dotson's the man to watch because he was a deep ball dude last year. I wonder how they're going to use him this year. That's going to be an interesting thing, especially if Sam Howell comes out slinging. Like he's just picking up this Bieniemy offense fast. I don't think that's going to happen. I would take Cardinals plus 7. But Jahan Dotson as the deep threat, will they use him as that? Will they use him more as a slot guy to run underneath the defense in a PPR league? That'd be great. But Dotson's going to be an interesting dude to watch. Moving forward, 2. The Baltimore Ravens favored by damn near 10. Deadline move. Nope, still 9.5 against the Houston Texans. Texans starting the DeMeco Ryan era. We can only pray he does not get canned after year 1. The last 3 head coaches have. This is a new era for Houston. And unfortunately, they're going to get torn apart. They're going to get ripped to shreds. And I didn't believe that just off of of course, the fucking Ravens are good. Nah. It's because the Houston Texans are missing. They are missing Titus Howard, starting right tackle, Juice Struggs, starting center, Kenyon Green, starting guard. The Ravens are going to eat C.J. Stroud alive. They're going to eat him alive. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Houston's rush defense has been so horrendous the last few years. Will that happen this year with DeMeco Ryans? I guess we'll figure it out. But Lamar Jackson's on the other side of the ball. J.K. Dobbins is on the other side of the ball. Yards per attempt hounds. Yards per attempt fiends are on the other side of the ball against a team that has Laramie Tunsil as their offensive line this weekend. That's it. And then on the defensive side, their D-line, they got Will Anderson during the draft. They murdered the draft. C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson's absurd. But unfortunately, in week 1, they're going to get destroyed. They're going to get destroyed. Ravens are going to run the rock so much in a season where I don't even know if they're going to run the rock that much with new offensive coordinator. I forgot his name. But I was watching the bootleg football guys, and they were just like, this guy loves to pass the ball, and I trust Brett Coleman and E.J. Snyder. He loves to pass the ball. New wide receivers, OBJ and Zay Flowers, first-round pick, superstar signing. I'm curious to see how they do this year. I'm curious to see how Rashad Bateman does as well. Let me pull up the injury report because I think they had. Oh, yeah, that's right. Mark Andrews, most likely out this game. That means even more points for these two dudes. If you have them, and if you're low on wide receivers, start them. I think they can air it out big time. I think they're going to run the ball the most, but I'm just really curious to see how they do it in a fantasy sense. Because during a real football sense, they're going to be really good. They're going to be really good for the scheme. They just have to be a threat. That's all these wide receivers have to be. In a real football sense, they just have to be a threat, stretch the field out, and Lamar run. Run, and if OBJ, Mark Andrews, he's out, of course. But if they're open, dink and dump. Dink and dump, but just stretch the field out and run. But if these two guys in OBJ and Zay Flowers are producing, that's so scary. If the Ravens' passing attack is really good, is it absurd to say they're the best team in the AFC? Maybe. I guess we'll figure it out with the fantasy football players to watch, OBJ and Zay Flowers. I guess I should remake it. It says player to watch. Test stream. We're figuring it out. But, yeah, moving forward to the 425 slate. The Chicago Bears, Justin Fields entering year 3, going up against Jordan Love. Entering year 4? Yeah. Year 4, Jordan Love getting his first start as QB1 throughout. Okay, well, not his first start, but his first start as QB1 the entire offseason, then he starts. This is his first time doing that. Underdogs versus the Bears. This is going to be low scoring, dude. I'm so excited for this one. I'm excited to see what Jordan Love's got. It's been 4 years. I'm excited to see what LaFleur's been doing this whole time. Because Matt LaFleur's been doing something. This is our first opportunity to really see what this is. And he won't be doing it with Christian Watson, unfortunately, out this game. Romeo Doubs, questionable this game. Excuse me, my lord. Questionable this game. If Dobbs is out too, Jordan Love is not going to do shit stats-wise. Stats-wise, not going to do shit. Their passing attack just has to be a threat, and if they can control time of possession, the problem is, I don't think they will, dude. The Bears can run the ball. The Bears can run. Justin Fields, oh my goodness, he can run the rock. He can run the rock. I'm getting text on the phone. He can run the rock. I feel like they're going to control time of possession, and I'm not saying that Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon cannot run the rock. I just think they're going to own time of possession, but Packers got some defensive dogs. They got some defensive dogs. Jair Alexander, dog. Facing up against dog. DJ Moore, newly acquired wide receiver 1. A big reason why they dropped from pick 1, worst team in football, to like pick 10. Because you can get a bona fide wide receiver 1. This was kind of a cop-out answer for the fantasy football player to watch. Definitely just a cop-out answer. I didn't know who to put. I mean, because I'm not putting Jordan Love. Because even if he does good, no one's going to pick up fucking Jordan Love, let's be honest. Maybe Romeo Dobson. But yeah, I mean, if DJ Moore can be a solidified wide receiver 1 and produce like it, he's going to be great fantasy football-wise for a team, I think, that's going to control time of possession this game. But Packers got dogs. That's what I'm saying. This is the dumbest show because week 1, no one knows anything, and I'm just very open about being like, yo, I did not prepare. I'm just riffing. This is a test stream. But moving forward, this is good. This is good stuff. Denver favored by 3 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Russell Wilson, first year with Sean Payton. Jimmy Garoppolo, not his first year with Josh McDaniels, but first year with Josh McDaniels in a Raider uniform. The Raiders stink. The Raiders are gonna stink this year. I don't give a fuck, dude. No one's watching this game. The only reason to watch this game is if you're a fan, fair enough. But if one of these two quarterbacks exceeds expectations, I mean, that's a big question mark for both these teams. It is undeniably an interesting thing. Undeniably. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, 3-year deal. Pretty good deal. It's like 3 years, $72 million. That's a good deal, and they can get out of it, I think, whenever they want. If my memory serves me right. That's a fair contract, but do you really want Jimmy Garoppolo as your starting quarterback against a pretty damn good defense? No, not at all. That's right. I put Javonte... I'm falling apart. I put Javonte Williams up as the fantasy football player to watch. I feel like even if Russell Wilson does poorly, Javonte Williams is back. I think he tore his ACL last year. He's back. I love Javonte Williams. His rookie year when he was splitting carries with Melvin Gordon. I loved him. Now I think he's bona fide RB1. Am I wrong? I don't think anybody's watching, so I am just going to look it up because now I'm curious. Oh shit. Oh, whoa. Haha, that's fun. Yeah, he's bona fide RB1, so my JP Ryan's going to get some touches. I'm excited to see how he does against the defense that's got Max Crosby. That's the thing with this Raiders team. They have talent. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Williams, Max Crosby, superstars. But they're going to stink. And I have no evidence to back that up. We're just going to have to figure out at 4:25 Eastern Time. Fuck. Yeah. New England. 4-point underdogs against the Philly. Now it's 3.5-point underdogs against Super Bowl runner-up Philadelphia Eagles. I'm really excited to watch Mac Jones because I think the Eagles are going to be good. I'm going to just speed by the Eagles part. The Eagles are going to be good. They lost both coordinators. It's going to be interesting to see if they try anything new with Jalen Hurts. I don't know why you would. They were a damn good team last year. I don't think they should try new stuff, but they could. The Patriots offense needs to try a lot of new stuff now. And guess what? Bill O'Brien's their offensive coordinator because the Mac Jones hate is interesting. It's an interesting thing because he's a system quarterback. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just you have to have a system. And last year they didn't have a system. Their system was Ramondre Stevenson. They did not have a system. So, because Matt Patricia was calling plays. That's still the funny... Bill Belichick, what were we doing? But now we got Bill O'Brien. I'm saying we. I'm a Steelers fan. But now the boys got Bill O'Brien. Ramondre Stevenson, is he still a dog? Or are they going to pass the rock a lot? I feel like this is a trap game, dude. I feel like New England's defense is going to come out swinging. New England's defense is so good. They're so good. Obviously, their offense, the Eagles' offense has a boatload of talent. But, dude, they're so good. fantasy football player to watch. I'm excited to see if Ramondre Stevenson. I'm trying to figure out the mirrored thing. It's actually kind of tough. But Ramondre Stevenson, does he have that in him in year 2? Now that they're not just running the ball constantly, and now they have the potential to throw the ball. Moving forward, though, to my game of the week, I'd say Chargers favored by 3 against the Dolphins. Same sentiment with same sentiment. I forgot to put that there. Same sentiment with Mac Jones. The Tua hates silly. He's a fantastic system quarterback, and the Dolphins have a fantastic system with Mike McDaniel, just throwing it with high accuracy to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, 2 speedsters. Jeff Wilson Jr. is out, so their running game is hindered, but they still have speedster Raheem Mostert. I love the Dolphins this year, and they also got Vic Fangio to head their defense, which is why they're my player to watch. Can they force turnovers versus Justin Herbert? I don't know. We'll have to figure out. That's why I'm watching. But I love the Dolphins this year. I love Tua, Mike McDaniel, Tyreek, Waddle. That offense is gross. And now Fangio's their D coordinator. Christian Wilkins, Jalen Phillips on the same D line. Javon Holland in the secondary with Xavier Howard. I love the Dolphins this year. I'm not all in on the Dolphins, of course. I also love the Chargers. I used to make so many Chargers videos because Justin Herbert is that dude. $62 million man. I love him, but dude, if you force me to bet on it, I cannot take Chargers by a field goal. But this is my game of the week. Whatever the over-under is, smash the over. Whatever the over-under is for Seattle versus Los Angeles, smash the under. This game sucks. This game sucks. Cooper Kupp out for the first 4 weeks at minimum for the Los Angeles Rams. As Seattle made the playoffs last year, they were the shocker. Does Geno keep that up? He's like 32. Does he keep that up? You still got DK. You still got Light. You still got Lockett. Picked up Jackson Smith and Jibba. You got the man, Kenneth Walker. He's my fantasy football player to watch because the Zach Charbonnet second-round pick running back really cut into his production. I don't know. We're going to have to watch it. But Seattle getting 5 versus the Rams. It's a really gross line. It's a really gross line because like Los Angeles can have that same mentality I was talking about with Minnesota, where it's like no one believes in us. And especially the Rams I think they're the youngest roster in football right now. No one believes in us. Let's go out and throw haymakers. Sean McVay can actively do that. I don't think it's going to fucking work though, dude. If I had to put money on it, give me Seattle. -5. It's such a gross line. Fantasy football player to watch, Kenneth Walker. Will Zach Charbonnet cut into his production as we're here? Last game of the show. Yeah, this was a test show. I got to get better fast. But Sunday Night Football. New York Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys. NFC East matchup. Obviously, the Cowboys are going to be on a primetime game to start the season. Obviously. They've been in a primetime game to start the year like every year. And they got Sunday night this year against the new money man, Vanilla Vic, Danny Dimes, Saquon. Got like a slight pay raise, and he was like, sweet, I'm playing this year now. But I really got nothing. I'm burnt. I'm out. Dallas is going to be a great team. They're going to be a great team. They've been a great team. It's just, does it translate to playoff success? They've been a great team. I feel like they can blow out a team like the Giants. Giants entering year 2 with Dable, Danny Dimes, though. I love that. They didn't do a lot to improve their wide receivers. I mean, during the draft, they did a little bit of something. They got Jalen Hyatt. That was such a forced transition. They got Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver from Tennessee. I loved watching him with Tennessee last year. He finds the seam. Just run a clear-out route with Jalen Hyatt where the ball is not supposed to go to him. It's supposed to go to the dig route. But guess what? Hyatt's going to beat his man. I want to see if he gets any deep balls. I hope he gets deep balls, but how many deep balls? I'm very excited to see that. But Giants entering year 2 with Danny Dimes and Brian Daboll. Super interesting. That's going to be a fun thing to watch. That's why I took Giants 3.5. That was for real the only reason. I also just think that's too big of a line. The NFC East is too competitive, dude. Dallas has that capability to blow teams out whenever they want. Whenever they want. It's just, do they want it? They're hyper talented. They're uber talented. That's the show. That's it. Right there. Did it. This was a bad show. More of a test. I'm going to watch back and hope my internet does well. Oh, I think I just muted it. I pray the mic was on. Bought a new mic. Pray that's working. Looking to buy a new webcam, but they're expensive. I think this one's good enough for right now. Trying out new graphics. Just trying stuff out, man. Hopefully I'll be prepared next time with actual stats, looking at matchups, because that's the problem with doing week 1. No one knows anything. Like, I wasn't going to do a week 1 live preview show because it was just like I'm going to be talking about nothing, which is exactly what happened. But it's just like, just get comfortable with the camera, with the mic, with the internet, with the lighting. Just see if this works out good and try to get better for next time. Next week, 11 a.m., it'll be better. Thank you for watching and have a great day.